Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Divinely Transformed. My name is Lisa, and today's message is going to be a little bit different. So, most of y'all who follow my channel found that I didn't post any dailies yesterday. And I actually still have the cards that I had pulled for yesterday's daily short, because I did attempt to get the video done, but I just did not do it. I was really struggling yesterday with a bunch of different things. I talked a little bit about it in the Daily Rune today, but this is where I'm going to talk about it more extensively, as making myself an example of correction, because I've been messing up. I've not been really following the spiritual path too much because I've been so caught up in my schedule and everything that I'm doing. And I've been doing a lot of things, 3D things, to get myself moving forward. Getting out of the energy of waiting for something to happen, waiting for somebody to help me, and just helping myself. That's created some complications. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's created a bit of a block in my abilities. And I have not been receiving messages from Spirit like I used to. I just haven't. That's why the other messages stopped coming. That's why it became only the daily short, the daily rune, and the monthlies that I'm very much struggling to keep up with, and my personals. So I am very much struggling to keep up with all of this. And it shouldn't be that way. This is my responsibility as a person who was put into this leadership role for y'all, to be following my ascension path. And I have let myself hold myself back. And I wasn't even aware of it for a while. I was just doing the daily grind, doing whatever I had to do. But I was noticing along the way that I was having trouble meditating, that my routine is off again. Nothing makes sense anymore. I'm a lot more tired. My diet is off. My exercise is off. Everything's just unbalanced for me. And this is my own fault through my own choices. Because, as I said in my Daily Rune video, that a self-destructive tendency of mine is to get sedentary and just want to be in bed whenever I'm overworked and tired and sore. And I tend to want to do this a lot, because this is something that I used to do a lot when I was younger. Anytime I would ever hurt myself, I would just automatically go to bed. I wouldn't do anything. If I'm tired, I'm tired. Everything else be damned. But it's improving to the point where, like, I'm still getting stuff done, but that's all that I'm doing. I'm not getting everything done that I need to get done. And it's because I have a lot on my plate. I did it to myself. I mean, it's something that I need to do, that I have to do. And I have to learn how to balance myself better. And as an extremist person, it's always been very difficult for me to find balance for too long. So this is like a daily struggle of mine, or weekly, or whatever, but it comes up often, is what I'm saying. So I attempted to do the daily short yesterday, and the message that I got upset me so much because I knew that I was not where I needed to be to give this message yesterday. I was indulging in other behaviors yesterday that I don't normally do, because I was just resting. And when I do that, I tend to do things that aren't healthy for me. But the daily short upset me, and I knew that I could not record being upset like that, because I was upset at myself, because I knew that I wasn't in alignment with the message. So it was better for me to not give the message, but to keep it for the next day, because the message is that important. Because this is about how we're holding ourselves back. Anyhow, gonna start with the first card. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is being defensive, fighting off everything, even fighting off good stuff. See these flowers on these? It's fighting everything off, because we're in resistance to everything. If you find that you are defensive and in resistance, this message is for you. Even if you're not sure why, you're about to find out. At least have an idea of why you feel this resistance. 7 of Wands. We have the 3 of Pentacles. This is collaboration. Who and what energies are you collaborating with? The 2 of Swords. This is an impasse. This is a stalemate, and this is a decision that needs to be made, but hasn't been made yet. And because of this indecision, you are not getting a victorious and successful result in something, with the 6 of Wands being in the reverse. There's nothing to celebrate. There are no accolades. There is no public recognition. No forward movement in victory. Knight of Swords in the upright. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. But I'm getting this as not taking actions when you should, and taking actions when you shouldn't. Because this is swift, decisive actions. What are we making swift, decisive actions about? Anything? Because that is what's needed here. Swift, decisive action to take care of oneself. The Empress is in reverse here. Taurus and Libra energy. This is someone who is not practicing self-care. This is someone who is struggling with themselves on the inside, with abundance, love, healing. And because of that, the Chariot is in reverse. There is no forward movement. The good thing about the Chariot card is it never goes backwards. It either goes forward when it's in the upright, or it stops when it's in the reverse. And I know that I have been in this energy for years, not taking care of myself, not moving forward. Then I got my chariot, that I call it, to be moving again. But now I'm at the risk of it stopping, because I need to make swift, decisive actions for self-care. Because I haven't been doing it. I've just been laying here. I'm not taking care of myself by continuing with my routine. I'm not taking care of myself by continuing with my purpose, my channel. I am not taking care of myself by eating all kinds of junk food that I've been eating lately. And I've not been walking either, like I had been. So I've gained a little bit of weight. And I feel more weighed down. I feel oppressed. I feel unhappy. And I'm starting to feel unwell. And I am in resistance to working with the divine at this time. Because I'm still not making good choices for myself yet. Or I have and then I backslid. That's more like what it was. I mean, I started making a number of healthy choices for myself, and then I backslid, going into a familiar pattern of laying around when I'm sore, I'm tired, in pain, and I don't have any energy. I just lay here. And I know that I cannot possibly live my life in stagnancy anymore. That is most of the reason that I need to move, because the other person that I live with's energies are pulling me down. It is keeping me stuck, and I'm fighting it most days, but there are some days I just fall right into it. I'm down for the count, man. And I don't enjoy participating in these energies. And it's going to take me a little bit longer to move than I thought, but only by like a couple weeks. Because I still need to accumulate more money, and I'm going to need to figure out how I'm going to get what little bit of stuff I do have moved, as someone who doesn't have their own transportation. So I'm going to have to get that figured out too, and that takes a little bit of time to get that planned out well. And so I'm not letting the delay of being moved by September 1st getting me down. I mean, it's already been delayed several times of my moving. But I'm not letting it get me down. I'm just going to continue to keep moving forward. But, yeah, so it is part of my responsibility to let you know when I am not living up to my responsibility of staying in the vibrations that I need to stay in order to do this work that I'm doing for you to help y'all. Because it requires me to have a certain level of spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, and financial fitness for you. And I haven't spiritually been fit, I haven't mentally been fit, I haven't emotionally been fit, and I haven't physically been fit at all. So, yeah, so I don't know if this is going to resonate with anybody, but I kind of hope it doesn't. But at the same time, if it does, just know that you're not alone. And that this is what life is about, learning experiences, learning how to move through challenges in healthier ways than you have in the past, and overcoming unhealthy behaviors that are keeping you stuck and keeping you from moving forward the way that you should be moving. I'm finding myself increasingly frustrated with myself because I know that I haven't been fit lately. I mean, I'm still doing what I can do work-wise, like shadow work and daily work, but I could do better because I should be doing this stuff regularly. There's daily work that needs to be done, like affirmations and meditation, that I need to get more serious about and make more attempts to get those things done. Even if I'm just muddling through it, at least the attempt's been made, you know. Those are pretty much my biggest struggles and issues at this time. But I'm doing everything that I can to fight my way out of it. Because I just refuse to be stuck. But this is definitely going to cause me to have to make some changes in the future about my job. I don't think that I'm going to be able to stick with it long term because of, you know, how much it physically hurts me. So, probably almost as soon as I move, I'll be looking for another job. One that isn't as physically demanding as this one. But yeah, so these are some challenges that I'm coming up on, and it's making it difficult for me to fulfill my life purpose, to serve y'all to the best of my capacity, because I had to focus on the regular paycheck so that I could get myself out of a bad situation. Feels like I've been getting myself out of bad situations my whole life, and I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm tired of moving whenever there's some kind of an emergency that I can't stay there anymore. And it's all in with who I've been collaborating with. Because my whole life I've been collaborating with someone. I've never lived alone. I'm 41 years old, and I've never lived in a place by myself, because I basically got married when I was 17. So I went from living with my grandma to moving into a marriage where I either lived with a guy, or I lived with my mom or my grandma, or both, or some kind of family member, but it was mostly my mom or my grandma. But, you know, I've lived with my brother before. Like, I've just never lived by myself. And I've always relied upon someone else to get me through life. But I don't have, I never should have had that luxury before, but I definitely will never let myself have it now, because it's time for me to be taking care of myself and supporting myself, and that's what I'm going to do. But if I need to take a break from my purpose in the meantime, I'm not saying that I'm doing that, but I'm saying that that could come up, in order to keep my peace of mind and to keep me in the healthiest state possible. I'm going to do what I can to maintain balance and groundedness in the meantime. I'm not throwing in the towel just yet for a break from my channel, but I have considered it, and it's still in the back of my mind. I mean, I'm in like a stalemated energy about that. Like, I need to make a decision about what I'm going to be doing. And the things that I'm doing, they just take time. Not too much time, but enough time to where it takes a lot of focus, concentration, and energy. I mean, as many people know that, it's rough starting a new job and trying to move, and then potentially looking for another new job right after you move. That is a very stressful situation, and it takes time to resolve. So this is not like I'm just making up excuses or anything like that. These are real challenges that I'm having. It's not an excuse for my absence, and it's definitely not an excuse for me failing in my responsibilities to do my obligations as far as my channel goes, because my channel was here before this new job. But it all matters. So, and I'm really trying to do what I can to balance it all. So I really hope that this helps somebody, anybody. I really didn't want to do this video, but it was impressed upon me to do it because it explains a lot, and in order to teach, I have to be teachable. And it only took me a day or two to get into alignment of getting taught from the Holy Spirit where I was lacking and what I needed to change and what I needed to do to correct that, which is this very uncomfortable video that I didn't want to do, but I knew it was important. Because if this is happening for me, where in your life are you defensive and collaborating with unsuccessful negative energies that is keeping you from making important decisions in your life? Like, is keeping you from taking care of yourself the way that you should, and is keeping you from any forward movement in your life and keeping you in stagnancy. This is when you're getting in your own way, and you kind of have like little clues along the way until it is in your forefront and you can't ignore it anymore. And I was definitely in my own way, and I apologize. I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm not giving up. I'm trying to figure this out too. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding and your support through this difficult time. Thank you. Talk to y'all soon.